What if everything you're chasing is actually moving further away because of your resistance? What if the life you want isn't meant to be forced, but allowed? The truth is, when you trust the universe, you stop struggling, and life begins to flow in ways you never imagined. So often, we find ourselves pushing, striving, and trying to control every detail of life. We believe that if we just work harder, think more, or plan better, everything will finally fall into place. But what usually happens is the opposite. We end up exhausted, anxious, and feeling even further away from peace. Life isn't meant to be forced. Just like a river, it moves naturally when we stop trying to redirect its flow. When we begin to trust the universe, we open ourselves to guidance, synchronicities, and opportunities that no amount of control could have created. This isn't about giving up. It's about learning to align with the rhythm of life instead of fighting against it. When we try to control everything, what we're really doing is telling the universe we don't trust it. Think about it. How many times have you pushed for something only to feel stuck, frustrated, or disappointed when it didn't go your way? That feeling isn't just coincidence. It's resistance. Resistance shows up as tension in your body, stress in your mind, and fear in your heart. It's what happens when we live in the illusion that we have to manage every single detail of life. But the truth is, no matter how much we plan, we can never predict every outcome. For example, imagine trying to force a flower to bloom before its time. You could pull at its petals, but instead of making it grow faster, you'd only damage it. Life works the same way. When we force outcomes, we delay growth, we create pain, and we block what's naturally meant for us. On the other hand, think of the moments when you've stopped pushing, when you've surrendered even for a little while. Maybe it was a job you didn't get, a relationship that ended, or an opportunity that fell through. And later, something better arrived, something that actually aligned with who you are. That's the universe showing you that flow always works better than force. When you learn to let go, you're not saying, "I don't care." What you're really saying is, "I trust." You're acknowledging that there's a bigger picture unfolding, one that you can't always see, but one that is always guiding you. And here's the key. The energy you carry becomes the energy you attract. If you're tense, fearful, and desperate, you'll only invite more situations that keep you in that state. But if you're calm, trusting, and open, you naturally begin to align with opportunities, people, and moments that bring peace and abundance into your life. The universe doesn't respond to force, it responds to energy. And the most magnetic energy of all is peace. When we talk about trusting the universe, it's not about sitting back and doing nothing. It's about aligning with the natural rhythm of life instead of trying to control every outcome. Here's how you can begin to shift from forcing to flowing. Step 1. Notice where you're forcing. Think about your life right now. Is there something you're pushing too hard? Whether it's a relationship, your career, or even your personal growth. Pay attention to the stress, the frustration, or the anxiety that shows up. These feelings are signs that you're trying to control what may not be ready to happen yet. Awareness is the first step. Step 2. Pause and breathe when you catch yourself pushing. Stop. Close your eyes, take a deep breath in, and slowly let it out. This simple act of breathing grounds you in the present moment. It tells your nervous system, you are safe, you don't need to fight life right now. A calm mind sees possibilities that a restless mind can't. Step 3. Practice letting go of outcomes. This is where true trust begins. Instead of focusing on how things must unfold, start asking yourself, what's my next small step? Trust that the bigger picture is already being arranged. For example, if you're seeking love, focus on becoming the best version of yourself, instead of worrying about when or how the right person will appear. Step 4. Shift from control to co-creation. Trusting the universe doesn't mean you stop working. It means you stop fighting. Think of it like rowing a boat. If you're paddling against the current, you exhaust yourself and barely move. But if you align with the current, you move effortlessly, even with less effort. Life works the same way. When you set intentions and then release control, you allow the universe to carry you further than you could on your own. Step 5. Look for signs of flow. The universe is always communicating. When you're in alignment, things start to feel lighter. You notice synchronicities like running into the right person at the right time, or opportunities opening up without you forcing them. Pay attention to these signs. They're reminders that you're on the right path. Step 6. Build daily trust rituals. End your day with gratitude, no matter how small. Gratitude shifts your focus from what's missing to what's present. In the morning, set an intention for the day, but don't cling to how it must happen. This simple practice rewires your mind to flow instead of control. When you stop fighting with life, you start dancing with it. Trusting the universe is not about giving up control. It's about realizing you were never meant to carry it all alone. Flowing allows you to move through life with ease, peace, and faith that everything is unfolding exactly as it should. Sometimes the best way to understand flow is through simple stories, because at the heart of it, trusting the universe is not about complicated theories. It's about remembering how life itself has always carried you. Think back for a moment. There's probably a time in your life when you wanted something so badly, and no matter how hard you pushed, it didn't happen. Maybe it was a job, a relationship, or even a dream you thought you couldn't live without. At the time, you might have felt disappointed, even defeated. But later, when you looked back, you realized that what you wanted wasn't actually what you needed. Life was protecting you. Life was guiding you to something better. This is flow. It doesn't always give us what we ask for in the moment, but it always gives us what will grow us. Imagine a river. When you fight it, you struggle and the current feels heavy. But when you trust it, you float, and the river carries you to places you couldn't have reached on your own. Life is that river, and peace comes from learning to let it carry you. Here's the truth. Flowing doesn't mean you won't face storms. It doesn't mean everything will be easy, but it does mean you will have the strength to move through challenges with grace. You stop asking, "Why is this happening to me?" and instead ask, "What is this teaching me?" That small shift transforms everything. Think of people who radiate calm no matter what happens. They are not calm because their lives are perfect. They are calm because they trust. They know that even in uncertainty, there is a deeper order at work. They don't cling, they don't force, they allow. And in that allowance, they find peace. As you walk through your own journey, remind yourself, the universe is not against you. It's not withholding. It's always guiding, always shaping, always leading you closer to your true path. The question is not whether life is on your side. The question is, can you trust it enough to stop forcing and start flowing? At the center of trusting the universe is peace. Not the kind of peace that depends on everything going your way, but a deeper peace, one that stays with you no matter what life looks like on the surface. Think about it. When you force life, you're constantly in conflict with it. You worry about outcomes, you try to control timing, and you live in fear of what might go wrong. That energy drains you, but when you trust, peace naturally follows. Because you're no longer fighting reality, you're aligning with it. So how do you cultivate this peace every day? 1. Surrender expectations. Most suffering comes from clinging too tightly to how things should look. But the universe often has a bigger picture we can't see yet. Surrender doesn't mean giving up, it means softening your grip. Let your dreams be like open hands instead of clenched fists. This creates space for life to surprise you in better ways. 2. Practice presence. Peace can't live in the future or the past. It only exists right now. If you notice your mind racing with what-ifs, gently bring it back to the present moment. Even noticing something as simple as the breath moving in and out of your body can ground you in peace. Presence is trust in action. 3. Respond. Don't react when you're in alignment. You don't react out of fear. You respond with clarity. The next time something unexpected happens, pause before you speak or act. Ask yourself, am I reacting from fear or responding from trust? That pause is where peace enters. 4. Create space for stillness. The universe often speaks in silence. But if your life is full of noise, distractions, overthinking, constant movement, you can't hear it. Take time each day for stillness. Meditate, journal, or simply sit quietly. In those moments, you begin to feel the calm undercurrent of life that's always guiding you. 5. Anchor yourself in gratitude. Gratitude shifts your energy immediately. Instead of focusing on what's missing, you begin to see what's already abundant. And when you see abundance, you attract more of it. Gratitude is one of the most powerful ways to stay at peace with the flow of life. Here's the beauty of it. Peace doesn't mean nothing changes. It means you can walk through change without losing yourself. Peace allows you to trust that no matter what happens, you'll find your way. As we come to the close of this journey together, I want you to remember one thing. Life is not something you have to conquer. It is something you are meant to live with, breathe with, and move with. The universe was never against you. It has always been trying to guide you back to yourself. When you force, you live in resistance. You grip tightly, you push harder, and you try to bend life to your will. But forcing leaves you tired, anxious, and disconnected. Flowing, on the other hand, is soft but powerful. It allows life to open doors you never even knew existed. Think of it like a dance. When you try to lead every step, the dance feels awkward. But when you relax and trust, the rhythm of life carries you effortlessly. You don't have to know every move in advance. You only have to trust the music. So how can you begin to let life lead you? 1. Release the illusion of control. We often believe that if we just work harder, plan more, and hold tighter, everything will go our way. But the truth is, control is an illusion. You can't control timing, you can't control others, and you can't control every twist and turn. What you can control is your openness, your attitude, and your willingness to trust. 2. See delays as protection. Sometimes when life slows you down, it's not rejection, it's redirection. The universe might be saving you from something not meant for you, or preparing you for something greater. When you shift your perspective, even waiting becomes sacred. 3. Embrace uncertainty as possibility. Uncertainty feels scary because it asks us to step into the unknown. But within uncertainty lies every new beginning. If everything were predictable, there would be no room for miracles. Flow means being open to outcomes you can't yet imagine. 4. Align with what feels light. The universe communicates through energy. If something feels heavy, draining, or forced, that's a sign it may not be your path. But when something feels light, expansive, and natural, that's alignment. Trust those feelings because they are the universe's way of nudging you toward flow. 5. Remember you're always supported. Even when life feels chaotic, you are never alone in this journey. The same intelligence that moves the stars, that brings the sun each morning, that causes flowers to bloom in spring, that same intelligence is guiding your steps. You are being carried more than you know. Now take a deep breath. Inhale trust, exhale resistance. Imagine yourself releasing the weight of control, the pressure of timelines, the fear of uncertainty. And in that release, feel the peace of being held by something greater than yourself. Trusting the universe is not about waiting for a perfect life. It's about realizing life is already perfect in its unfolding. When you stop forcing and start flowing, you allow yourself to be led to places more beautiful than anything you could have planned. The universe doesn't need you to push, it only needs you to trust. If this message brought you peace today, I invite you to stay connected to this journey. Subscribe to Solace Within for more reflections that help you align, let go, and trust the flow of life. Share this video with someone who may need a gentle reminder, and let's spread this energy of peace together.